Welcome to West of Tulsa. I'm CJ Ward, and we are broadcasting from Studio 3 in Ventura, California. The whole crew is here. I'm going to start off with Beth.
Good
Beth
morning.
Farnsworth Ward. What'd you drive in today?
A 2019 Acura.
I know that car well.
I know you do.
It's a good drive.
A fairly clean Acura.
Fairly
say
clean.
That.
That's the key. Next, we have Helm Seacat.
How you doing?
What'd you drive in?
94 W124 Mercedes-Benz wagon.
What color?
Black.
All right. Nice ride.
Yeah, love it.
He is the Mercedes
That's my
guy of the group.
my
yeah.
daily. My favorite daily.
Gabe Schroer. Like, I am trying, seriously. Schroer.
Trying to piss me off. That's what
Sure.
Just say thrower. Thrower.
Sure.
Thrower.
we spent way too much time on this.
Okay.
Like he's
so,
a
Gabe,
thrower.
what did you drive in here today?
2010 Jetta TDI sport wagon.
But you sound like you're pissed right now.
I am.
Okay.
Because of the
Mother.
All right. Next, we have Dan Brockett,
Brockett?
the guy in charge. I'm going to say it that way from now on because
Oh, I like it.
because I did it a little bit and then you noticed it.
I like it.
And the other thing about Dan is that his fan contacted us and is bummed with us for putting him in the corner and making fun of his
He feels
Camry.
bad for Dan.
No, my 2017 Corolla vacuum
that's
cleaner.
what it- that's-
Corolla vacuum
So
cleaner.
you made fun of it, not us, but somebody's mad at us because we, like baby, we stuck you in the corner.
Wow. He's not mad. He's just compassionate for Dan.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
All right. All right. Next, we have first guest, Monty Wilson, and he is the founder of Rally for Kids, and among many, many other things. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm one of the founders. There's been a lot of people that make that event happen. I've been fortunate to be there from day one.
So, if to make it correct, co-founder then. Fair enough.
yeah, that's fair enough.
And what did you drive in here today?
I drove quietly and at the safe speed limit a Ferrari 458.
I don't believe that for one freaking second.
You don't believe the Ferrari part?
I don't believe any of it.
Because there's a Ferrari sitting in our lot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful one. We'll show
Thank you.
that here in a
Thank
second. But and then we next Scott Rouleau.
Hey, CJ.
Hello. And you're a volunteer, Rally for Kids.
I am.
And 356 guy, Land Rover guy,
Land Cruiser guy.
Land Cruiser guy, and you're
Steamer
participating
guy.
in the rally. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were with me a couple years ago.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. Well, we're still talking.
Yeah, we
right?
and we're both still alive.
And you should have
Right.
seen the handprints all over the windshield.
Wait, you guys have...
Help! Get out!
There's footage of you guys doing that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll have to definitely
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
put that up there at some
yeah.
point.
And I drove a 18 Audi S6.
That's right.
Nice.
To get here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice car. We could hear the rumble on that one.
Yeah,
too.
it was coming in.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Monty, start us off here. Tell us about the Rally for Kids. What is it? Who does it benefit?
Well, it benefits the United Boys and Girls Club of Santa Barbara County. It's the single largest fundraiser of the year for that event. And it's really grown from its inception. But 100% of the profits, I mean, like Scott, myself, everybody's a volunteer. So no one's paid for it. So every bit of money, goes back into the event to cover the costs. And then anything that we profit, which is sizable, goes to the clubs. And we've really been able to contribute a lot to the Boys and Girls Club because we've opened 2 new clubs because of the Rally for Kids. We've bought vans because a lot of people don't realize that boys and girls that want to go to Boys and Girls Club, sometimes they don't have a way to get there. Yeah. Sometimes they're living in a homeless shelter or something. So we bought vans so we can go pick them up and bring them into the shelter. And last year, the money from the event paid for new kitchens because sometimes this is the only hot meal these kids get every day. So it started, this is our 9th year.
The impact is amazing. When we go to the dinner the night of the rally and you see what that money does, and you hear about what the money that was raised last year bought,
Yeah.
and then what they need and what they want.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And the list is always long.
Well, it is because the needs to support an event like that, and then during COVID, the Boys and Girls Clubs turned into distribution centers for the food bank.
Right.
Well, they didn't close. They stayed open. the
Yeah,
entire
they stayed
time.
open the
Yeah.
entire time.
So
It's a lifeline year-round for families. It's incredible what the program does.
We had a very interesting story this week because we had a blue card ceremony. And it's a statistical fact that if the kids attend more than 100 days a year, the chances of them completing high school, being a productive member of society, double.
Right.
And so they get a gold card for that. And then they get a blue card if they went 200 days. And these kids, I mean, it just blows you away. And the thing that's kind of fun about it is to watch their eyes, because some of them don't have access to computers and things like that at home, and all the Boys and Girls Clubs do. And so it helps them with their homework and helps the kids just kind of blossom and maybe realize their potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And tell us about the rally itself, because one thing I love about what we're doing here with West of Tulsa and what you guys are doing is that cars and charities seem to go together. You see so many events that are sponsored by car clubs, or they're raising money for charities or whatever. So tell us about the rally, because not only is it a fun drive, but some of the vehicles that are in it will blow your mind.
Well, that's what we limit it to 60 cars. So so we usually get 60 very special fun cars in the event. And the reason we do that is we want the people that are in the rally to have an amazing experience. Our goal with the rally is to take you places that you didn't even know existed in our backyard, take you on roads that are just a lot of fun to drive safely within speed limit. And it's not a race.
Yeah, not a race.
and meet people through it. But your point's spot on in that the car community is just that. It's a community. And it's a very giving community. So if you give the people an avenue to focus on and a cause like you have with kids, everybody loves kids, right? And, I don't know, we were at Cars and Coffee this morning. I always carry Hot Wheels cars in my car.
Nice.
And whenever I see a kid come by, first thing I do is put them in the seat, let them sit in the car. And the second thing I do is I give them a Hot Wheels.
Awesome.
Nice.
And so everybody wants to help kids. And so, what we try to accomplish with our Rally for Kids is give them a way to have fun with their cars, meet lots of new people, and contribute back to the kids. So,
And as a participant, describe what it's like to drive in it, and because the other thing I don't think Monty explained to us, there are stops along the way where you have to. There are challenges, games, and that.
Yeah.
So that's part of the challenges. Not only it's like you said, it's not a race, but you get points for answering certain questions, doing the challenges correctly. You get points for that, and there's a winner at the end of the day. But talk about as a participant.
Well, when you have an older car, sometimes you have issues, range anxiety. My gas,
just finishing that.
so my gas gauge doesn't work. So it's always kind of calculating.
And tell them what you've got.
I've got a replica Speedster that was built 50 years ago, by I believe by Jack Bianchi, actually.
Wow.
So it was built in 1973.
Beautiful car.
It's a fun car,
Yeah.
as you know. I mean, I actually did a rally yesterday up in San Luis Obispo, but with the Rally for Kids, it's just a blast, because then you're in there, you're with friends, you're side by side, passing each other once in a while,
Waving,
lots of waving, lots of videos, and lots of photos. And like I was saying earlier, a lot of people I don't know, but you arrive as strangers and leave as friends, and so it's a blast. It really is.
Yeah.
So
The format of the event's fun, though, because, Scott's experienced it, and a couple of you have, is that because we don't want people to drive recklessly. So you don't get any points for going from point A to point B. But what you do is when you get to a checkpoint, we give you a challenge. And many times it's something that maybe you haven't done since you were a kid.
Hula hooping.
Well, there's a story behind that.
Yeah.
But we'd like to take people to places they haven't been before and experience things. So an example, one of the checkpoints was the Santa Barbara Bowl. And a really great group of people to work with. But what part of the checkpoint was a kind of a scavenger hunt down in the dressing rooms of the bowl. Because how many people have been down in the backstage of the bowl?
I've never been
Very
down
few.
there. No.
So we did that. And then at the end, we wanted to have people sing on the stage. But I guess I don't understand union rules, but it was against a union rule. So we had to have union sound and light and people like that if we were going to have anybody perform. So we thought, well, what can we do on the stage? Hula hoop. So whoever could hula hoop the longest on the stage with, all the seats out there in front of you was kind of fun.
Was it union hula hoops?
Well, actually, we got a waiver for that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But no, and so we, did things like that. And, we've done remote control cars. How many of you were in Cub Scouts? Remember the Pinewood Derby cars?
no.
One year, each checkpoint, you built your Pinewood Derby car and stuff. And so we try to do things like that are kind of whimsical, but are a way that you can earn points to do it. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the rally wins.
And the checkpoints are
importantly-
fun too.
Yeah, but nobody knows the route.
Nobody
Oh,
knows
that's
where they're
true,
going.
yeah.
Now, it actually used to be worse because we finally had to tell people where they were going. But when the first couple of years we did it, the instructions say go 10.2 miles and take your first available left with no names or anything of roads.
Ooh.
A lot of people got lost.
The big old treasure hunt. And the fun part about this is there's a driver and a navigator. So who gets to do the hula hoop, right? It's one person
Yeah.
who does all these challenges. You
can mix it up,
The team
right?
decides.
You
right,
can mix
who
it
does
up.
You can
what.
mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't put too many rules on.
Well, and there's another reason for the navigator besides, navigating.
Right.
And the other thing is you had those questions we talked about.
Trivia.
Trivia. So there are things as you're in the navigator seat, you got to be looking around, looking at signs along the side of the road because that could be a clue to the answer to the question. And so even though the driver is supposed to be driving,
Right.
the navigator is supposed to be, turn left here, up here, and no, you got to be looking at
Yeah, but
signs.
we're asking each other questions.
Yeah, exactly.
So are all the instructions given ahead of time, or you get it as soon as you get to a checkpoint?
You get them the morning of the rally. No one knows where they're going until they get to that starting line, and we hand them the book and go.
Oh, that's cool.
I was doing a rally yesterday, and I was cutting through Santa Maria yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I've been here," because I got brutally lost last year. So
How many miles is a rally?
We try to keep it around 150 because there's a gala that night.
Oh, okay.
And so we want everybody off the route by 2
Okay.
because, my wife, Maria, I know, Beth, you probably the same way. You want to be able to go home and get cleaned up, and most time you have something nice to wear to
Get
the
the
gala.
dust out of your teeth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the dust and the
exactly.
bugs. Well, in the case of Scott's car, the bugs.
yeah.
So everybody's usually off the route by around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and unless somebody got lost. And they actually have to discourage speeding. When you get in the rally, we require both the driver and navigator put their driver's license in an envelope. And in that envelope is also where the final destination is. And so if they get pulled over by a policeman, and they say, well, can I see your driver's license? And they're like, as soon as that is
Busted,
open, then
yeah.
they're out of the rally.
Busted, yep.
You're busted and you're out
Yeah.
of the rally, or you can't get any points.
But it's for the kids.
Just for the kids.
For the kids.
We
So
do have a
that's-
fun story about that, though. We had one competitor who will remain unnamed that he did get pulled over for driving briskly.
What kind of car?
It was a McLaren.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, 720? 720?
And actually it was an MP4.
Oh,
Yeah. And the policeman pulled him over and said, can I see your driver's license? He goes, I can't show you that. And the policeman's like, do we have a troublemaker here? And went on and said, well, why can't you show me? They have numbers on the side of the cars. And so he goes, because if I do, then I'm disqualified from the rally. And long story short, the policeman let him off.
Wow.
Said, just keep it under control, and do well for the kids.
How fast was he going? Can you say?
I don't think he was going all that fast. I mean, most of the roads are fairly curvy
Yeah,
and stuff, so
right.
no one really gets too crazy.
And McLarens look like they're going faster than they
Well,
are. That's probably
that's
why
it.
he got
It was
pulled over.
probably-
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything
So I'm
wrong.
visually like, I just need to pull
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
And do you coordinate this with the local police?
We always let them know what we're doing. They've been very supportive. In fact, we have a lot of people from law enforcement and that participate in
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
The numbers on the side of the car probably help, so I'm definitely going to put numbers on the side of my car.
There you go.
Yeah.
Driving.
I'm in a
So I was
rally.
like, "Yes, officer, I'm in a rally
For charity.
in Oxnard."
For charity.
When you're actually just going to the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm rallying to Port Hueneme and back.
I just want to say I can't show you my license. Like if I get pulled over, I want to say that at least.
That was a
I dare
gutsy
you,
move.
bro.
Yeah.
No, but I had a quick question. In the 9 years that you've been doing this event, has there been challenging moments or obstacles setting it up, or has it evolved to where it's
Always.
been always?
Always, yeah. I mean, last year was probably the hardest because of the winter rains. The route changed literally up till 2 weeks before the rally. Every time, because roads would get washed out, trees would fall down, they would close them for road repairs. So last year was probably the hardest. We've also had issues with, people having close calls. The craziest one was Michael Hammer. Unfortunately, Michael passed away last year, but he was always the presenting sponsor. And he had this big old Lincoln that they did in the Pan America series where they race across Mexico, and they actually do race. I mean, this thing was like a NASCAR car.
It has a name. What's the name? It's the
Panam.
Oh man, there's a name for it too.
Yeah,
Wish I could
I'll
remember.
get you.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
have to
send you a
Google it,
picture of the
yeah.
car because
Yeah.
it says on the car.
Right.
But Michael was in this car, and he claims it was the brakes. I don't know. Well, but he went off the road. Went through a ditch, went airborne
Between two trees, right?
between two trees, and landed on a bridge. And literally 4 feet either side of the car was about a 15-foot drop.
Oh, my
And there was no rails on this bridge because it was a private bridge. And the car being an old Lincoln like it is, this is back in the, he just kind of had a little bend in the front bumper. He kind of pushed it out with his foot and kept going. Car was, but we've had situations like that where, somebody had, in that case, he had problems with his brakes.
The kids are the ones benefiting from the rally. But have you guys thought about how to evolve it to where they become more of a part of it? And the just crazy idea that just came up to mind was live streaming the event, being that it's like 60 cars max, where they get to experience as if they're on the ride with everybody.
Awesome.
That's
That
an
sounds like
amazing
an
i-
opportunity.
Oh, it's an
Yeah.
amazing idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how we do it.
Well, we've got the right
Yeah, I
team
know.
here to do it with.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, you've had it where they do participate. In the last
yeah.
was it last year we did dodgeball.
I want to talk about
Oh,
so we always include the kids. One of the checkpoints is always at a Boys and Girls Club because they're scattered all over the county. So we can stop it. The one you're talking about was hilarious because we did you like to play dodgeball when you were
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
So, who doesn't remember that red ball smacking you in the face? So we started, you'd show up at the downtown Boys and Girls Club and got the balls there. They blow the whistle and the kids would come out and we'd have a dodgeball game and people would get knocked out and you earn points by surviving the longest. But what the participants didn't know is that I think it was at 30 seconds, the UCSB basketball team also, they were like hidden off to the side.
Yeah.
They would come running out and join the kids.
That was traumatizing.
It was so
for
great.
me.
Yeah, because what I did was I at one point I had survived for a while, and then I leaned down to grab a ball, and I look up and I see like 8 balls coming at my head.
Please,
Boom,
God,
boom,
let
boom,
there
boom,
be
boom.
well.
They were all 6'4", right?
Yeah, and I'm
Oh,
like,
my God.
where'd you guys come from? Okay, so let's talk about the gala.
All right.
Gala.
Gala? Gala?
What do you say?
I don't know. What do you say?
Gala.
Gala.
Okay,
All right.
we'll go with that. Gala. So tell us about this, because I know you said, everybody likes to go home, change, but the cars have to kind of stay the same, don't they? Don't you encourage that you leave the bugs and dirt on it?
Exactly.
Bugs. Yeah.
So talk about that. What do you do with the cars?
So
when they come back?
last year we did it at the Hilton, right? Is that where it was? Okay. The Hilton, and we drove them all up on the lawn, right in front of the gala. So it was fantastic.
They're part of the party.
So
Yeah.
they were part of the party, and we had drinks and mingled with the cars, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
really
setting.
special.
I mean, literally, you could get a cocktail, turn around, and look at a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we were right on the lawn, right in front of the Hilton. And how many attendees were there? Probably
325.
Okay. So we had 325 people, and we raised, numbers aren't coming to my head right now.
We netted. I always look at what did we,
Okay.
after all the bills were paid, but we netted almost $240,000
Wow.
back to the
Very
Boys and
good.
Girls Club.
Wow. Very
Great donations, some great auction items. So that's what, makes it happen.
Some cars get like an award for most squished bugs on the front.
No, we should.
We should, yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
But that's the dinner. Everybody, you hand out the awards and all that stuff that night.
Yeah.
It's a party, and there's some traditional elements you'd have in a gala, like the paddle raise, and that's really where a lot of the money is raised, is at the gala. And then we have live auction items, and we try to have car-related trips and things like that. And
That's great.
Yeah, and I remember one year, Michael Hammer, they were saying, "Oh, we're just shy. We just need one more van." He goes, "I'll just buy it."
Yeah.
yeah.
He was that kind of night, is what it is.
Yeah.
And we really strive to keep it fresh every year. Rarely will you see us repeat something that we've done before. And Zoe Felice of Felice Events has been with us from very early days as well, and she does these trips to as you'd expect, conventions where they talk about new things, and she's got some real exciting things planned for this year. And the format of this year is going to be completely different. But we tried to bring in different things. So one of the things, to give you an example, is car related. For the appetizers, there's a group down in LA called Gastro Garage. And
I love the name.
they've got the whole steampunk kind of goggles and stuff, and they cook with blowtorches.
Oh.
And,
wow.
And they've got these things that shoot flames like 6 feet in the air, and they cook with that.
And they're welding a roll bar while you're there.
Yeah. Anything breaks, they can take care of it all.
That's it.
Awesome. Do you ever hear from the parents of the kids who the program benefits?
Oh my God, yeah. It's almost tear jerking sometimes to hear the stories. I'll share one story with you. This just happened during COVID. Is Boys and Girls Club would try and help kids because remember, kids couldn't go to school, and a lot of these kids don't have computers in their home. So they had a whole protocol of how they would safely get the kids into the clubs, give them like computers to work with and things like that. And the parents would drop them off and they'd have to do temperature check and all that. Well, anyway, there was this one car that just kind of sat off in the parking lot. And, Michael Baker's like, this is weird. What's going to, because he could see the mother and the child sitting there and he goes, well, you can come in.
It was windows up too.
Windows were up.
Yeah.
And she finally cracked the window and she goes, I can't come in. He's got COVID. And Michael's like, oh my God. She goes, this is the only place where we can get Wi-Fi. So she literally sits out in the parking lot.
Oh.
Tapping into the Wi-Fi of the Boys and Girls Club so her son could go to school.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hear a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah. I almost bring a little tear to
It
your eye.
does. It does. And there's so many stories that we don't even know about, but it is just such a beautiful event, and it's so fun and elegant. I mean, it's just got all the different elements to it.
How many people does it usually take to put on the event total, would you say? Volunteers and sponsors and...
Well, I mean, the initial group of us is what?
There's only about 8 of us in the core committee, but volunteers, I'd say probably 50 or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Because you got to man each checkpoint, you got
Yeah.
people at the start and the finish, and
That's cool.
a lot of the parents come out that can help, and people from the Boys and Girls Club.
It's well organized. It flows.
yeah, it's dialed
Never had
in.
an
I
issue.
think it's
Yeah.
pretty dialed in.
It really is, without being militaristic. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest challenges to putting all this thing together? What's one of the biggest challenges that we would never even think about?
I think keeping it fresh.
And the route that's a lot of work that John, you, and everybody puts in.
We probably log anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 miles
Whoa.
driving. We were out yesterday and for about 6 hours
Wow.
trying different things.
And you can't talk about it
Nope.
Can you give a hint of anything?
Nope.
Just a little tiny hint of a hint? No.
other than this isn't one you had ever thought of before.
We were talking about this morning at Cars and Coffee, is that I've driven so many of these roads. I told you how many miles a year I drive to help put the route together. And John Domboski is a master at coming up with great routes.
Very enthusiastic about it.
Oh my God! Well, what's his saying?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, he's got Johnisms. But we were out yesterday driving the route, and I'm like, where did you find these roads? I've been across this area so many times, and there were just some amazing roads we were on. So I'm certain people are going to have a blast this year with roads. But I got to tell you a fun story. So because we limited to 60 cars and want everybody to be off the route by 2, we have 2 groups. They go in 2 different directions. So one group goes clockwise, one goes counterclockwise. And last year, John and I would take turns, and I'd go counterclockwise and he'd go clockwise. So we get to the day of the rally, and we're not really participants, but we like to go out on the route too. And I said, well, let's have some fun. I'll go the direction you've always gone, and you go where I go. He's like, all right, well, we'll do that. I'll be damned if he didn't get lost. And because he was one of the organizers of the route, there's a whole bunch of people following him, and they went like 10 miles past the checkpoint.
That's great.
Oh, wow.
So we have fun with it.
Can you say how far east it goes? How far north? How far south?
No.
Beth is not going to give up on
No,
this one.
no.
She's going to
It
try
doesn't
and get
go
as much.
across state lines. We'll say that.
Okay.
Well,
Actually, very few people know the route. There's probably only 3 or 4 people that know the route till the day of the rally.
so of all the years, what's your favorite car that's gone through the rally?
Ooh, this could be
Boy.
tricky.
I don't know. That's a really tough question. I love driving my Speedster, but I think this year I'm going to change it up. So
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I might do my 323.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice,
All right.
nice.
So
I think my favorite was probably Michael Hammer one year. He comes from the Arm and Hammer family, and he had this white Rolls Royce that was his grandfather's. And he did drive that in the rally one year. And it's a gorgeous car. But I had the good fortune of sitting next to Michael in the car one time and looked at it, and it's got this big scratch across the windshield. And I go, Michael, this car is pristine. Why is the scratch there? And he goes, well, my grandmother was driving the car, and she was steering the steering wheel, and one of her rings scratched the steering wheel. And he says, that's my grandmother's ring.
Wow.
And so he said, I've never wanted to replace the windshield.
Wow.
Cool. That is
But that was probably the coolest car we've had in the rally. But we've had some really special cars.
Let's talk about a ring that would be big enough to scratch a windshield from
Well,
the side.
keep in context the Hammer
okay, I
family.
was about to say.
I'm just picturing 8 miles to the gallon for a Jag, right? We've talked about this. I would think a Rolls Royce would get 5 miles to the gallon.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But he did finish the rally. I think the biggest challenge we had, there's two types of cars that I always worry about. The electric cars, we always make sure that we're within electric car range. So, most of them will do that. But electric car range depends on how you drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're driving aggressively or a lot of hills, that range falls down quite a bit. And the Cobras.
Oh,
The Shelby Cobras, they do not have large gas tanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they can only go maybe about 100 to 150 miles, depending on how they're driven it, before they will run out of gas.
So there's no It's like whatever car, run what you brung kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cybertrucks?
The Tesla.
Tesla.
The Tesla.
Oh,
There
I
is
don't
one.
know
There is one in Montecito now.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
Can't miss them.
No, no. So I think it's Matt Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, do you know who that belongs to?
No.
It belongs to the chief designer for Tesla. And the
Oh,
license plate actually says Cybertruck.
I did see that.
dang.
Yes. Okay. I did see that.
Franz von Holsten. That's his
Okay.
name.
Oh,
He's in Montecito.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, like many people that benefited from Tesla stock, he probably has a few different places.
Sure. Point taken. Yeah.
So true. Well, I am so excited about what you guys are doing for Rally for Kids. So if somebody isn't going to be in the rally,
Yep.
is there a way they can support this cause if they want to
They can go to the
come in
gala.
and help?
They can go to the gala.
Oh, there you go.
Buy a ticket.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that because, not everybody's a car fan and wants to spend, 3 or 4 hours in the car. And so, but this is still a way for them to participate because it is truly a different kind of event than the normal fundraiser that you go to. And I think people enjoy that. And, the sponsors, as you mentioned, Chevron's our sponsor. We're super happy to have them come on board as our presenting sponsor. And then they presented last year and they said, sign us up for 3 more years.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm super
great.
proud that, Scott shares the same thing, is that we've never lost a sponsor. Every sponsor that's come on with us is still with us today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Says a
amazing.
lot, yeah.
Says a lot. Yeah, exactly. What you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Well, exciting.
So what's the date? Did we mention when this is?
April 13th.
April 13th. And then where can they go to find out more about the rally?
Rallyforkids.org.
Awesome.
Yep.
So you rally 4 number
For
kids.
numeric.
Is the same for the Instagram page, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have that all up there.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Great.
So the rally starts in the morning. You go through the rally, then
Little
the
break.
gala at night.
Well, it's actually 2 days because Friday night we do what we call the driver's party. And that's to kind of prepare everybody for what they're going to do the next day. And so we go through there and we reinforce the safety aspect of it. And we tell them what kind of clothes to wear, and shoes to wear based on the challenges and stuff like that and what to be prepared for. And then, we have a nice heavy hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. And then it's bright and early Saturday morning. Oh, and they get their car numbers and all
Right,
that,
right.
so they can put all the graphics on the cars and stuff. And Jeff Clark is the artist that does the poster and the numbers, and he's been with us how many years?
Probably since the beginning.
Yeah,
I believe.
and
Yeah.
if you've not seen the posters, they literally are works of art. And people, I've seen them collect them and they hang them up in their
Yeah.
garage and stuff.
He's
and
very talented.
yeah.
Yeah.
very, very talented.
I saw
guy.
this year's beautiful. It's got a gold Dino on it.
Yeah, that's a guy
One of
named
my favorite
Andy
cars.
and Tim Q. Yeah.
Andy's car.
And we tried to keep the theme kind of consistent where the theme of the poster is not only for the rally but carries through to the gala. And the theme of the gala this year is black and gold gala, so it's a gold Ferrari
Yeah.
Dino.
Well, people need their sunglasses first thing when they get in the car and they start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's I mean, kind of day.
Yeah.
But we've had all sorts of fun adventures, and half of it is just, when things go wrong, and One year we had a rock slide that closed the route for about half hour.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah, and
Rain. We had rain
Rain.
one year. Yeah.
yeah,
And we were coming back from Ojai. I think we were coming down the hill and driving through the rain in Ojai, and I thought, oh man, this is even
It was
better.
beautiful. All
Yeah,
of it.
it was even
no
better.
matter
I
what the
loved
weather
it.
is, I
Yeah.
just think it's a gorgeous. I know.
yeah,
Each time it's different.
yeah.
But the roads are beautiful. The backcountry. I mean, we live in a beautiful area, so you all choose so well.
That was a very stressful event though, because Zoe's calling me like every 10 minutes. Do you want me to tent the event? Do you want me to tent the event? And I don't like tents.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, no tents yet. And they literally had everything there staged and ready to go and to put the tents up. And like you said, we're coming down the final stage of the rally back into Montecito area where the polo grounds are, and the rain stopped.
Nice.
And we we were talking about the rally. That was the year of the walking plants. That was the one year that people gave me a hard time because we always go do the extravagant, decorations and stuff. And I wanted these large walking plants. They were like people that were on stilts and stuff. They were a little creepy looking, but I just knew that walking plants would not work inside a tent. So
Nah.
it worked out.
It's always fun, and it's something that we don't see every day. Whatever it is that you come up with, I mean, it's an amazing treasure hunt and more. So for a wonderful cause.
It's a team sport, Scott comes up with massively cool ideas for how we market the event and all the marketing we do there. Zoe does some amazing things for the gala. John does a beautiful job with the routes. I mean, it's a team sport. I mean, everybody in the group. Jeff Clark does all the posters and artwork. It's
It's a good group.
a great group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good group.
Wow.
Well, you guys took it easy on them today. Usually these
Little
guys are harder on the gas.
Yeah, they're.
I mean,
Caught 'em
I
early.
swear to God, we're never coming back to this freaking place again. And they were actually pretty good with you guys today.
Yeah. Well, maybe they like us.
Well, thanks for having
We'll
us.
find
Yeah,
out.
Oh yeah, fun.
We'll find out how they edit this thing.
All right.
How much they like you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it
look
could
what they
be
pulled up in. They both pulled up in some
Yeah.
really nice cars, so they get
Okay,
some
all right.
props for that.
Okay. All right.
Well, hopefully we'll see everybody out on April 13th and do some amazing things for the kids.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Cool.
definitely.
All right.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks
you
for
guys.
coming in and telling us all about it. And good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
You say much success.
Yeah.
No
luck.
Yeah, much success.
We got the kids on our side. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget our socials. Like, follow, subscribe. We also have our YouTube.
Channel
Thank you very much.
for the 100th time.
He's still pissed. We've been on for like 40 minutes. He's
He just
still
plays-
pissed at me.
Professionally, man. What?
What is up
It
with
just plays angry.
But it plays well. All right. And we also have our tip line. So go to our tip line, fill that out, send it in. We'd love to have you here in studio and talk about your great car story. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you west of Tulsa.